when you look at what Auburn did against Indiana, probably the best two halves of basketball in the last several seasons. I mean, 250-plus point halves is really hard to do against anybody, but especially in a neutral location against a team that's trending towards the tournament, a P5 team in Indiana they were 7-1 entering the game. Like that's a big quality win, Bradlaw.
It is. They had just beaten Michigan on the road. They already beat Maryland. So they were 2-0 in their conference already. We talked Friday about how they wanted to pound it inside. They wanted to play a slower tempo game, big, physical. They want to try to get Auburn's guys in foul trouble. And they just weren't able to do that. Auburn had 3 turnovers. The third turnover came on a shot clock violation because Auburn was running out the clock late. And like the 3 that Jalen Harper took with 1 second on the shot clock didn't draw iron. So technically that's a shot clock violation. Had that not happened, Auburn would have set a new school record for fewest turnovers in a game. So they played clean. They hit their free throws. And obviously the shooting was much better. I mean, it's tough to find a lot to nitpick coming out of that game. It was sensational.
Yeah, and this is a team that struggled, probably felt a little shocked, maybe a little embarrassed in their loss on the road to App State. That was a team they certainly should have won. And fortunately, App State in the net rankings isn't too far off of where Auburn is. So I don't think it's going to hurt them as much as we originally thought once the net rankings came out. So that's a positive. But to lose on the road there and then to bounce back after Indiana made 4 threes to start the game. I mean, they had to be thinking like, uh-oh, what's going on? Why is this happening? And they fought through it. So I think the mental aspect and the emotional aspect of them clawing back and playing the way that they did for 2 halves, I think that's a story in and of itself.
Yeah, I agree. Basketball is a game of runs, and as you watch these games, you kind of start to understand, and I think most of our viewers are smart enough to know this, you don't panic after 4 minutes, especially if a team is doing something so different than what they've done consistently. It's not that they had 1 or 2 bad games shooting from 3. In fact, if that had been the case, I'd have been a little bit worried going into Saturday's game. Just like Aiden Holloway had slumped shooting the ball for a couple of games. You had to know that wasn't going to stay the same. You had to know he was going to break out of that. So the fact that they hit 4 threes, I had a couple of people texting me like, uh-oh. I'm like, nah, don't worry. They'd only made like their high number for threes in a game before yesterday was 4. So they matched that in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You knew that was going to cool off at some point. And what I really like about this staff and this team is they didn't run away from the game plan. They didn't go change things defensively. Y'all want to take those threes? Take them. You're not going to keep making them. And they didn't. And that was a big part. Defensively, defense, I think, was what sparked Auburn's surge toward the middle part of the first half. And then they started hitting shots, and it was all over from that point.
Yeah, it was over. That's right.